Hi, ladies. Welcome to our free angel reading. Sorry if you saw me space out there for a second. Okay. So let's start with our opening prayer, and then we've got a ton of questions. I'm going to get through as many as I can. Okay. Um, yeah, I'm going to start with our opening prayer. You can hear my mum's dogs in the background or my baba. I'm so sorry, but this is just part of adult female life. Let's start with our opening prayer. O great spirit, Father Sky, Mother Earth, the winds, the waters, Father, my mother, Atanaha, all that is. We thank you for our lives, and we thank you for these good people. We thank you for all that we are and all that we are to become. We dedicate our time spent together and our relationships with one another to you. We ask that our suffering be ended, that our pain be lifted to the love and to the peace that lay beyond. Aho, Amen, Namaste. It just popped on me. I'm sorry, guys. Hello. Hey guys, remember I'm streaming to multiple platforms. If you want me to know who you are, just write your name in the comment. And off we go. Okay, so Jennifer Morgan is saying, thank you again for doing this. I'm waking up at 3 a.m. most nights since I started working out again. Would love insight on what my body is needing to sleep through the night. Okay, let me just send so much unconditional love to you. Ask your health angels what's going on. I'm bringing in Archangel Raphael and his band of mercy. Let's have a look. Oh, okay. So the moment that I'm actually tuning in, I called in Archangel Raphael and Archangel Gabriel came in so strong. And it's about divine timing. So they're saying you're waking up at 3 a.m. because your ascended masters are really wanting to talk to you because you're playing it small. They're saying that they really want you to become more visible. And they're trying to get the message through at 3 a.m. Sleeping through the night wise, slow releasing melatonin would probably help a lot with that. But in my experience, when the angels want to talk to you or your guides want to talk to you, 3 a.m. is like divine life purpose. It's time you need to step up. 4 a.m. is like relationships and resolving like personal family or like past life deep collective consciousness. And 555 is we're like 5 a.m. or any time between 5 a.m. and 6 a.m. is there are big changes going on and we want to support you through those changes. And it's a recalibration or transformation taking place, but slow release melatonin will really help you guys. Doville's saying, thank you, Sky. If the angels could help me release the pressure to have children, that would be great. Okay, let me do a scan. Okay, Archangel Gabriel's coming in again today. So Gabriel was there before Moses was born, before Jesus was born. So, Doville, I can help you with this. You have free will, but what Gabriel's saying to me is your babies have like strong divine life purpose, and this was agreed before you came into this incarnation. So, in order for me to shift this, they're saying I'm going to have to jiggle some soul contracts around in the sense of releasing them from the soul contracts to be born as your children to find somebody else to incarnate with. So, if you're okay with that, I need a yes. If not, I can release it with the angels temporarily. But it's these soul contracts that are like, because your kids are like, they have big divine life purposes or divine timing. So they agreed with you for this life because you're such an advanced soul. But if you want to change it, then it's like those soul contracts need to be made with somebody else. So just say yes if you'd like that. And then I'm going to witness it anyway. If you don't want it, just say no and it won't happen. Okay. Because I'm going to do it under the law of grace, under the law of karma. I'm getting goosebumps all over the place. I can see some of you have been not sure how to shift this after changing your mind about what you wanted. There we go. Whoa. Okay. Okay. Gita saying, thank you so much. It would be great if I could get help get help getting my soul aligned clients. Okay, I'm just gonna do a scan. Okay, I've got Archangel Shamuel coming in here, Archangel Raphael. So Archangel Shamuel's coming in and wanting to do some heartbreak work with you. So can we just command an instant healing on the places where your heart has been broken and where you're trying to replace a love life with a career? And then Archangel Jophiel, she's the one that she's like the cleaner along with Archangel Michael. So she comes in, organizes, cleans, structures, really puts in very deep divine right order in our business and our client base. So anywhere where there's, disorder in your calendar, in your bank accounts, in your business, in your website, can we just release all that and just allow Archangel Jophiel to just pour her beautiful energy of divine right order? And I'm going to call on Archangel Metatron as well because he helps with divine life path. Okay. Okay, and I'm seeing them. I actually see like 5 or 6 people starting to come in around you now. And the first thing they said to me, which I just want to say before I move on, is that you are really good at what you do. You get people really good results. And that's what you have to tell them. When they say to you, "Can you help me?" The answer is yes, right? Yes, I can help you. I will do my very best. If you show up 100%, I'll show up 100%. We'll get this thing nailed. But it's having that certainty in yourself, because if somebody says to you, it's like when somebody gives you a compliment, you're like, "Oh, this old thing," or you kind of play your own achievements down, which I used to be the queen of doing. I've been working so hard on that and on my leadership skills the last 3 or 4 months, because otherwise you're treating people how to think about your product. And when your product is represented by other people as well, especially people who are very good at what they do, it's really not fair. And it's exactly the same thing when you are delivering a service that is going to change someone's life and that's really going to help them become who they really are and show up as the light they're capable of being on this planet. Girls, you're doing them a disservice if you are pretending that you're not sure about whether or not you can help them, right? You've been helping people since before you could walk. You since before you even incarnated. It's important that you communicate that in the most kind and loving way possible. So confidence boost for you. Okay. Leah R. Dix is saying, "Hi Sky, I felt stuck for so long. What would it take for me to change this? Thank you." Okay, so immediately your angels are like saying to me, divine right action, divine right action, divine right action. There's a pattern of doing the emotional work and the energy work, but then not taking consistent action. And without consistent action, I'm not talking about, once a week, but like daily action. If you don't do at least an hour in the direction of your dreams a day, you won't build momentum in the direction of your dreams. You'll build momentum in this energy of being stuck. All right. So I love the Sia songs. If you guys haven't discovered Sia, she's very famous. SIA. She's like but she's got some really good songs, like The Greatest and Unstoppable. But you want to really put on music that's got good affirmations in it, that's going to put the habit in your mind of taking divine right action every day. And every time you feel stuck, and I do this all the time, because I used to really struggle on making decisions. So that's the core wounds you want to work on. Whenever you're stuck, you want to look at trauma around making decisions. Who, when you were growing up, questioned your decisions or made all your decisions for you, or even who now acts like all your decisions are wrong, because then you internalize that and you do the same thing. But I worked on this after doing an Anthony Robbins seminar almost 8 years ago, with my hubby. But decisions are the root of getting unstuck. Decisions or choices, whichever, the word's interchangeable, but decisions are at the core of whether or not you'll fulfill your destiny. So if you're not making decisions and then taking divine right action every day, you will get into a habit of being stuck. And the other major lie that we tell ourselves is that if we are stuck, then it's because we're on the wrong path or we're doing something wrong. And one of the biggest things I've been learning as I've been studying leadership and as I've been really focusing on people who have not just scaled but served at the same time, and how they overcame their biggest blunders or failures, or the pressure that it is to be at a certain level with family and with team and with kids and with clients at every area of your life, and still had really deep happiness. And really the biggest thing that comes up over and over again is, um, you really have to not be afraid of, I wouldn't call it failure, but it's that energy of, If you categorize every challenge as I shouldn't be doing this, then you're going to stop because everybody faces challenges. And that's very much used in the spiritual community because it becomes spiritual bypassing. A lot of spiritual teachers pretend that they never have any problems and they don't talk about what's really going on. And I'm not talking about sharing the most intimate, private moments of your life because I genuinely don't agree with that. I don't think it's an integrity. But I think that, when you are pretending, not that everything is okay, but that you don't have any challenges, then that there's no place for other people to learn how to manage their challenges, right? So it's in that space where when it's in alignment with what you teach, I talk about my health challenges. I don't pretend to not have had autoimmune disease. I don't pretend to not have struggled with obesity. I don't pretend to not have had hair fall out after my son was born. I go to where it resonates with the people that I came here to serve, and then I share those challenges. Of course, I have challenges in every area, but I use it to talk to you guys about what's going on for me and the areas that we decide to discuss, right? Um, so you really want to reframe challenges as pressure and really look at it as I love Eric Thomas, and he's a motivational speaker, and he talks about how diamonds are made under pressure, right? It's one of my favorite speeches of his. It's 5 minutes, and it's called "You Owe You," and I listen to that all the time. Um, but this energy of your challenges are there to serve you. All of life is working for you instead of challenges mean I'm on the wrong path or I'm not attracting the right thing. And particularly if you're afraid of conflict or if you're afraid of having difficult conversations, then those are the kind of clients, for example, that you attract. It's not just the universe responding to your frequency, it's the universe presenting you with the highest opportunity for your growth, right? Um, Okay, let me just so I'm gonna bring in just asking. I've never asked this question before. Who's the procrastination angel? I'm asking creator, who do I bring in for procrastination? Because you guys all lit up like little Christmas trees. Okay. So I'm getting Archangel Raziel coming in, and I'm like, sorry, this is the conversation that goes on in my soul. It's like, why are you the procrastination angel? And he's saying, because the biggest reason people procrastinate is because they're looking for certainty. And I am the angel that makes people feel unsure with taking divine right action within the mystery of life. So very often we have to make very big, very tough decisions without knowing the full extent of the outcome. And sometimes we deal with decisions we made a long time ago that we didn't even make consciously that we're still resolving right now, whether that's the first marriage or missing something in a legal document or whatever it is that happened. So it's that energy of being comfortable with making powerful decisions and making decisions from a place of power and making daily choices that are in your divine life purpose, from being comfortable with the mystery and trusting that your divine curriculum is unfolding perfectly and that everything is happening for you, even the challenges. That creator knows what he's doing. And one of the most powerful things that I learned with Joel Olstein from studying his books was that God often gives us the greatest challenges so that he can show us his greatness, so that he can show us what he can do. Because when I've seen God do things that I would never be able to do, not just by myself, but period, point blank, even if I had a whole team, even if I had like the most qualified people in the universe or in the multiverse in the room, and then creator pulls something out of the hat that I'm just like, Jesus, how did this how did this happen? How is this possible? And my strength and my faith in creator is even stronger. So very often when you are facing the rubber meeting the road and when really hard things are happening, it's because you're lacking faith. And these challenges are designed to get you to step into faith and step into faith and step into faith. And then creator will turn the grit into grace and into greatness. And you will learn that it's a bigger power than us. So it's a powerful thing to overcome desire. I'm just going to have a quick look at your live questions as well as the ones from earlier, because some of you are having some major struggles. Let me have a quick look. I do follow an order, guys, but if the angels tell me to go off piste, I follow my divine guidance over my cue. I am Scottish. I do a cue thing, but if it's important, like Tangier saying my husband's in hospital after a car accident, feeling overwhelmed. Okay, can we all send angels and unconditional love to Tangier and her husband, please? Just going to command an instant healing to release the shock and trauma. Send Archangel Raphael and his band of mercy. There we go. Just using the full force of God as magnified by our collective consciousness and the power of the army of angels. When ascended masters to just shift this, to bring him back to perfect health and to make clear what it is that they're being asked to wake up to or become aware of. So accidents, whether it's a car accident, whether it's an injury or fall, is the universe normally telling you that you're not on divine life purpose and it's redirecting you. Ooh, there we go. So just to give a few examples of that so you don't think I'm like, victim blaming in any way. If you think about, for example, Joe Dispenza, it was breaking his spine and having to basically spend months flat on his front while his spine healed and learning the healing process that put him on his path as a spiritual teacher as well as a scientist. It was me getting hit by a car. My husband was tickling me. I ran out from behind a bus and the car clipped my back. That showed me that I wasn't doing my divine life purpose. I'd gotten off path because I was following my soulmate instead of following God, which is a very normal thing to do in the beginning. You get distracted, right? So very often, including Viana, she was working as a security guard and then she got cancer and it put her on divine life purpose to being a healer and to inventing theta healing. So very often there's a redirection that takes place. And if we're not listening, right, and we need a break, then sometimes the accident involves breaking a leg or breaking a part of the spine or to get us to really realize that not doing what we love, not doing what we came here to do is breaking our hearts, breaking our soul, causing a soul split or a body break. So I hope that helps. Let me just a quick scan as well. Oh, okay. So saying, hi, Sky, could you please let me know why my feet are so bruised and painful? Also, my legs are quite swollen too. Okay, I'm going to command an instant healing and then I'll give you a few suggestions. So, from a metaphysical perspective, this is painful emotions that you are not allowed to express about being blocked from moving forward. Okay. We said bruised, broken, painful. You are not receiving the support that you need to step into the next stage of your life, and it's hurting loads, loads. It's aching inside your heart and inside your soul. Um, from a healing plant perspective, rosemary, leeks, um, um, cucumber, ginger. These are powerful and very gentle diuretics. Dandelion root, burdock root. These will all support your liver with removing the excess water from your body. But you also really want to immediately, like immediately, today to Sunday, no salt, no hidden salt, get rid of it. And you will notice that this is going to disappear within 2 or 3 days. Salt is the number one cause of excess swelling because it doesn't let our body release water from our salt. Literally tells your blood to hold on to the salt, to the water. Okay. I'm just going to scan to see if anybody's in urgent trouble over here. Thank you, Tracy, for helping to engineer. Hi, Sarah. Okay, so Samantha's saying I'm struggling with health issues, specifically cancer, and I think it's connected to my family, but I'm not sure. Can you help me point in what direction for healing? Okay, can we bring in a family constellations? Oh, there's so much resentment. So I'm going to pull that. Okay, so I would really, what you can do is family constellations work. I'm just watching the sacred geometric shape spin, so it starts to recreate the karmic pattern through which you're learning from your family with disease into a grace pattern through which you're learning from your family through service and they're learning from you through service. Um, there's a law of karma and a law of grace, and that's the transition. Buddha teaches about karma, the law of cause and effect. And then you get to Jesus, who teaches about grace, the law of karmic absolution, where all pain, suffering, and trauma is transformed in a moment or an instant of unconditional love, unconditional compassion, or unconditional peace. There we go. This is a technique that we teach in Medical Intuitive Mastermind as well. Okay, and I'm feeling the tears in the heart. There's like, I'm not allowed to take care of myself, and nobody cares about what I need unless I'm sick. So this is a core neglect wound, okay? There we go. Ooh. Okay, Samantha, there's a completely free cancer healing guided meditation energy clearing on YouTube. Okay, I'll see if I can get one of the team to find it and link you to it as well. But like I said last time, feel free to DM me. I will help you. I promise I won't try and sell you anything. I will help you as much as I can. Okay. Okay. I'm just doing a quick scan. Okay, I think everyone else is relatively. Yeah, so Sarah, I'm going to answer your question, Sarah, and saying because it's so connected to the collective consciousness. You guys have talked about procrastination, indecision, being relentlessly stuck. So this belief that you are going to go down the wrong path is an illusion. Okay, it's a massive, massive, massive illusion. What happens is any path you go down, within which you do not show up with love, with divine service, um, you will be the wrong path, right? Even a spiritual path becomes the wrong path if you don't go down it with love and with service. And everybody falls off the wagon. The trick is to get on as quickly as possible. Okay. But this idea that there's the wrong path leads us to stopping again, right? We face a challenge and we stop and we go, I'm on the wrong path. So whenever you think I'm on the wrong path, you want to say, thanks for sharing to that part of your mind. You don't want to ignore it because what you resist persists. You want to say, thanks for sharing. The truth is, all of life is working for me. If it's on my path, it's supposed to be on my path, right? And it's part of my divine right order. The only ultimate lesson is unconditional love. And I will find my way, right? If I don't know what to do, I'll quiet my intellect, I'll turn into my heart, I'll ask God and my angels, I'll take guided action. And that is 100% okay. Okay. It is 100% okay. To take the time to address that voice of you are on the wrong path. If you have an accident, for example, like with a car, and you're like, okay, I hear you. That's what I say to create. I hear you. I hear the universe. I hear the parts of me that are getting broken. Creator, make a way. And then what happens is the path bends or recalibrates, right? So you never have to panic. Whatever path you're on, it will merge with other paths at different points in your parallel life. I saw this incredibly funny joke the other day where it was like, it was like parallel paths. It's a shame they have so much in common, but they're never going to meet, right? Parallel lives, so much in common, but they're never going to meet. It's not the way it works. When you actually look at life streams, and it looks like it does look like a giant tapestry, except that it's moving at the same time. It has like the law of momentum in it, but they do the same way that threads weave not just in and out of each other, but sometimes through each other. It's exactly the same thing. Our lives weave through each other, and they're called sliding doors moments. Okay, so you don't have to panic if you think you're on the wrong path, or I would put it on the not a path that you want to be on anymore. You can always change that path, but the trick to changing levels instead of changing paths is really focusing on what you desire, taking divine right action every day and listening to your divine guidance. And it was Doreen Virtue that taught me that from the very beginning. Her little chakra clearing CD used to have, I pray and I listen. I take guided action. So it's that energy of pray, listen, take guided action. And that's what she wired into me listening to her chakra clearing CDs. And that's the most powerful success formula you have: regular and consistent action. Okay. Uh, Okay, I'm going to do a few more questions from the post and then I'll come back to you guys just so I'm being fair, okay? Okay, Mila's saying, my question is about how to balance my all working ideas, studying, creating with my personal life. Because of open time for social life and friends, my soulmate partner and children I can't be focused on what is the priority or first to do. Um, Also, always getting started and not finishing instead of starting with something new. Um, and also why I delay with everything that I truly and deeply on a soul level want in my life. So when I'm scanning you, your angels are immediately showing me that this is about trust and not trusting yourself with the responsibility of this divine life purpose. So if you don't finish, then you never have to grow. Ah, this question is so close to my heart because you guys know, I have a very young family. I want more children. My divine life purpose is hardcore. It is beautiful, but I am here to um, help humanity medically emancipate and to teach them that they are responsible for their own health and that they are the power in their body. And that's a big divine life purpose with a lot of responsibility. So the things I wish I'd known before, right? I have had my soulmate for a long time, but because he's on his divine life purpose too, he's always been very open to me following my divine life path. We haven't had that's not true. We have had many conflicts there between my divine life purpose and his. But we always understood that we both have to follow God above all else, which I think a lot of people don't have, right? That God first and then the relationship. And that's always kept our relationship strong. Um, but so about kids, partner, etc. What I've learned very recently, probably in the last 3 months, is that if I don't put my kid and my husband and at the core of my calendar, then my divine life service doesn't work, right? So what I do is if I don't, I schedule in the times, the date night, the child care, the I'm not going to get into issues with childcare because I'm not going to give you my negative beliefs. The same one that you just said, I have issues with employees. Oh, don't get me started on my issues with childcare. I have so much clearing to do. One day I'll share it with you all. Um, but a massive conflicts between wanting to be a mom, wanting to work, and a disaster, as my best friend would say. I just need to clear it completely. So when you're wanting to step into your divine life purpose and have a family, you really want to be at the stage where you are the the CEO and not the employee. So when you start your business and you're like self-employed and you like maybe have one assistant or two or three as part of your team, you are still very much an employee. You just shifted from being the VA and the receptionist and the administrator to being the sales and marketing and financial orchestrator of your company. So once you find people in that space to replace the sales, to replace the operations management, to replace the marketing, then you can run it. You're still going to need, the mornings um or the afternoons of, 2 or 3 days a week, but your business will be able to run itself as long as you have a product that doesn't require your time. So that's the third stage, is you have to create a product. And that can be anything from an online course to a meditation to videos to books, etc. But you have to create something that allows you to make money whilst you sleep, right? And then you can pull yourself out of the business. Or if you're teaching courses, you have to train instructors or teachers in your modality. Just look at the way theta healing is structured and EFT is structured and RTT is structured, and you'll get the gist. Is that in order to run a school without you being there, you need teachers, you need instructors, and you also need marketing professionals and everything else. And you have to sit down with your little book of manifestation, figure out how much a good one, not the most basic, a good one costs, and factor in some time for that as well to build a team you can really trust. And then I wouldn't worry about manifesting the soulmate because it normally takes at least a few months for that to heat up enough for you to be ready to have the kids. But the kids bit, if you can get organized and get the whole scaling and systems in place before, it will give you a lot more time. And whilst some of us have a very easy pregnancy and early motherhood journey, many of us really, really struggle. And when you don't know what's going to come, it's best to be prepared for both worlds. Um, the worst thing in the planet is to be really unwell and have to be trying to run a big business at the same time. So it's service is about scaling, and so is impact. And service is all about impact, because the more people that you serve and the more people that you help, the more they will serve and the more they will help and the more humanity will be healed, right? Um, so that's what I would say before how you put it in order and balance. You have to shift from seeing your business as a replacement for your job to really seeing it as something that needs to be your legacy. You could keel over and die tomorrow, and there will still be people healing, still be people growing, still be people evolving. And if you think about EFT, NLP, hypnosis, RTT, um, whatever it is that you're thinking about, their founders could die tomorrow and that modality would continue, just like psychotherapy, just like hypnosis. It's this idea of you're leaving that legacy long term. And this happens in stages. So I hope that that really helps. Okay. Kutaka is saying, Dear Sky, thank you. Would love to ask you if you could send some healing to me on all levels of my being to be more aligned with my soul and the creator of all that is. And how can I again have more love, personal power than before, health, have confidence? Okay, let me just do a quick scan. Okay, so personal power is all about rapport. Rapport is a fancy word for trust. Okay, the more you trust yourself to be able to serve others and that what you are providing them with has worth. So you're working on trust and worthiness, the more that you will increase your levels of power and influence, because power and influence comes from strong core relationships. Okay, core relationships with your clients, core relationships with your team, core relationships with your family. And that is a skill, right? It is a genuine skill, not just the starting of trust, but the consistent management of trust. It's a skill and it requires practice, and different people have different rules on an unconscious level and beliefs about what is required for them to maintain trust. So for example, with my hubby, he doesn't require constant attention to maintain trust, but there are many, like one of my main VAs needs to be in touch every day to have that connection. And if I'm, even away for a weekend, that can, make the trust a bit shaky. So you need to really connect with people who have a strong sense of trust and that also have a strong sense of boundaries, and figure out what people's rules for trust are, because people's rules for trust are very, very different, right? But from a psychological perspective, Brené Brown talks about trust being like marbles in a marble jar. A little bit every day is a lot more powerful than a one-off every once in a while. But different people are different. Some people would go mad if you contacted them every day. So you have to really get to know the people in your world and figure out what you need to feel trust and what they need to feel trust, and what are the deal breakers. So Anthony Robbins does that exercise in his seminars, and I find it very powerful to look at what are my deal makers, what makes me trust somebody no matter what, and what are my deal breakers, what makes me, shut down if that person does that, and what shutdown is like a closed door even if I forgive them, and what shutdown is an open door if they atone or make amends and we have the appropriate conversation. Okay. So I'm just going to download you with Creator's perspective, definition, understanding of divine trust and divine power. There's a very good talk on TEDx about unconditional worthiness. I will link it to you. Just DM me or message me. Okay. Just going to have a quick check-in on the live questions as we're coming up here. Finding my balance as we go along. Okay, so Kathleen is saying, I have a lot of problems at the moment with my mom. She's got neighbors from hell and it's been going on for a long time. I am constantly thinking about my mom's safety and it's a nightmare. I wish it could stop. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, can you please send Archangel Michael and place a hedge of protection around Kathleen mom's house? And we're just going to bring in the Lords of Karma to complete the karmic relationship between her and her neighbors. Under the law of grace, we're just going to invoke the diamond violet flame to burn through them all. And we're going to speak safety. Oh, there we go. Over the situation. There we go. Let me run down. Okay, hi Sky. What does it mean when I almost had two car accidents the other days? Cars just swooped in front of me and I had to instantly brake. Angels protected me. It means that you are protected, my love. And it also means for me, so I used to see a lot of accidents, and it was because the angels were telling me that people like me and you who hear the angels and see the angels, you can pray before you get in the car and it will actually prevent accidents from happening when you're on the road. And very often they're asking us to do that. So now before I even leave the driveway, I've prayed, I've asked them to bless everybody that's going to be on the road at the same time, to undo any potential accidents or problems or of any kind in all directions of time for that day, on the road, at work. Because as you do that, it just makes journeys a lot easier, and accidents that would have happened just stop happening. And we also become a big blessing on the world. But I had to do that a lot when I lived in London, and not so much now that when I was in Norwich or in the middle of nowhere, but or in Scotland, but very much when I lived in London, because the collective consciousness is so chaotic. And so many people need a break that they think that if, on a subconscious level, if something happens and they get sick or they get an accident, then they will be allowed to rest. That you need to really set the intention for nothing except peace and clarity to happen when you're on the road. Okay. Hi, Skylar. I would like to know what is causing my arthritis, autoimmune, especially in my hands and fingers. Thank you. So I'm going to send Archangel Raphael and his band of mercy and some psychic surgeons your way. Now, this is intense self-criticism. So can I just pull all the self-criticism out of your hands? Okay, so criticism of ourselves and others is not honesty, it is cruelty. Feedback can always be given in a kind, assertive way, right? Whenever you move into criticism, you've moved into cruelty. And often the scars from criticism and of ourselves and of other people last longer than anything else, right? And people will often use the mask of being honest to say horrific things. And when I was in Scotland, we have a saying that says the truth told with bad intent is worse than 1,000 lies. The truth is so powerful that if you misuse it, it does more damage than any good that you were trying to do. And the karma of that is no fun, right? So even when you are furious, and trust me, I am, born Brazilian, raised in Scotland, I have a temper. I have a temper, and so does my husband. And I really have to do forgiveness every night before I go to sleep. I don't get angry every day, but I do it anyway, because whenever you get really angry, it can take days or weeks or months to completely release. And it's just a good habit to get into. Course in Miracles taught me that every night before I fall asleep, I say, "Who have I not forgiven?" And I work through it with Archangel Jeremiah to the best of my ability. And some days are easier than others, right? But this idea that criticism is a form of honesty is just wrong. It's just completely spiritually inaccurate. Yes, 100% be honest, but be honest in the kindest way possible. And it's also so that other people can hear you. If you want your message to be created, to be communicated, then Course in Miracles talks about communication given and received is about communion. And that means two minds and two hearts touching. So when you go into cruelty or criticism, the other person will energetically and neurologically shut down. They'll switch from their prefrontal cortex to their reptilian brain, and you'll be like you're dealing with a completely different person, and you won't understand why you're dealing with that. And it's because you've shifted from love to fear. If their prefrontal cortex is open, they're using a completely different part of their memory. They're using a completely different part of their nervous system that's regulated. They're able to make decisions based on all of their life experience instead of their early childhood. If you criticize them or you're cruel to them, they're making decisions from the reptilian brain, which is the brain based on survival, the brain that's based on the ancestral patterns of, getting through something alive and not having your heart broken or your soul broken, and it only has old patterns of communication from the ages of 0 to 3, as opposed to their whole life in adult spectrum. And this is even even short-term memory is not good with the reptilian brain, and people will often be like, well, that's not what I said in an argument, and you'll be like, yes, it is, and you guys will be like going mad because you didn't understand what happened. It's because you're using a different part of the memory, not just a different part of the cognitive processing system. Okay, so really, can creator show you the difference between cruelty and honesty, and teach you how to be kind even when it's really, really hard. Even when you just want to bitch slap somebody, or you just want to punch somebody, or you really wish that person were just dead, right? I want to teach you how to give that to creator, and to by all means 100% stand up for yourself and protect yourself, but do it from a place of kindness and integrity, because that's not just who you are, but because it will get you the best result. Okay, there we go. Let me have a quick look at some more questions. Okay. Agnes is saying, hi, Sky. I would like to get out of loan, debt, trap, and spiral. What would be the way to have money and live comfortably with it? Okay, so it's a very big shift in identity, right? It's not just a shift in vibration, it's a shift in identity from I am worthless to I am worthy. And that is the shift that creates abundance. Okay, so can we download you Creator's Perspective Definition Understanding of how to shift, when to shift, that it's possible to shift from I am worthless to I am worthy, worthy of abundance, worthy of love, worthy of health, worthy of all of my good, as Louise Hay would say. And that it's possible for you and available to you, and that you're worthy of it. Oh, there we go. Okay. So what the angels are showing me is that there's a lot of I've got a free 1.5 hour workshop on YouTube called Financial Freedom, and I'll go into depth into the beliefs, the downloads, it's a fully comprehensive workshop that was, you know, was properly paid for at the time. It's completely free and up on my YouTube channel now, called Financial Freedom. But these are deep beliefs that often come from ancestral traumas, like the belief that we really have to work hard in exchange for abundance. And that one's been the bane of my existence. And it took me years of working on it to clear, because I didn't fully understand the power of hypnosis or things like that until a few years ago. So it's that understanding that what you are experiencing is not real. So that Course in Miracles exercise, particularly when you're in debt, because it tends to put us into ice cold fear, is to start saying nothing in this room is real, right? The chair isn't real, the table isn't real, the bed isn't real, the bank isn't real. What's real is the love of God. That's the only thing that's real. What's real is abundance. That's the only thing that's real. And as soon as I make a way, God will find a way to let it in. And that might be actually creating the payment links on PayPal or a Stripe or Facebook, or the invoices. It might be actually applying for the job that you really want instead of the ones that you think you're qualified for, which is what women do. Um, it might be actually looking up and making eye contact at people every day instead of looking at the ground, because people won't approach you or talk to you or connect with you, including for work or job opportunities, if you are, eyes at the ground and avoiding eye contact or connection with shame. So tiny shifts in body language and behavior, and big shifts in focus, because whatever you focus on, you're going to feel, right? So if you're focused on the lack and the debt and the vicious cycle of interest, then it becomes worse and worse and worse and worse. What you have to do is use what Course in Miracles calls positive denial, which is like the good kind of spiritual bypassing where you're like, yes, this is real today and it is a consequence of thoughts I thought and behaviors I had and habits that I experienced in the past. Um, and what I'm thinking today, what I am doing today will create what's real for me in the future, right? The thoughts, your experiences today were created yesterday, were created in the past. Your experiences tomorrow were created in the now. So if you don't change your thinking, and people can think you're delusional. So the first thing I would do is I would stop talking about debt and to anybody except your therapist or people like me who can hold abundance for you in the space where you're still growing out of it. I would start taking divine right action to as much as possible, whether that might be contacting a debt management company, whether that means actually creating products and making a plan to move out of it or to freeze it. But what your angels really want you to know, I'm going to bring in Archangel Shamuel because he's like the angel of abundance as well as heart stuff. Look at how connected it is, right? He's the angel that heals your heart and he's the angel of abundance. Um, what is really important for you to know is that the most successful people on the planet, whether you're looking at Anthony Robbins or Donald Trump or Marissa Peer or Doreen Virtue or Louise Hay, all of them, every single one of them has experienced debt, has experienced profound poverty, and they've made their way out. So that's the other thing you want to start affirming to yourself. It's true. Everybody can get out of debt because the collective consciousness of debt is there is no way out. I am trapped and this is permanent. So to break the pattern, you have to go, there is always a way out. God will make a way when there is no way. Others have been in my situation before and gone on to become incredibly successful, right? If it helps to use the word millionaire or billionaires or whatever, use it. But I literally say, others have been here and they've made a way out and it happened with grace and ease. And the other thing to really focus on is, what do you need? Because clarity equals action. So if it's clear that to get out of debt, you need to run a certain number of workshops, or you need to get a certain number of clients, or you need to sell a certain number of your programs, or you need to get a certain job at a particular income level, then you can manifest it. But if it's unclear to your energy, you either need to meditate and just stay in peace and God will reveal it to you. But it's a lot harder to do that when you're already panicking about not having enough money to pay the bills and potentially losing your home and things like that. Yeah. So it's okay to focus on how to make an income. So let's just show you that it's safe. Okay. Okay, so now what's coming up for you as I'm clearing on your heart chakra is this energy of you know like burnout, and this energy of I can't do any more work. I don't want to do the work. And divine work is a part of our dharma, and better a day spent doing dharma than a day spent doing depression, right? It's like moving your body, even if it's just walking, is so much better than sitting on the couch all day. And it's the same thing. Doing any kind of work with love is better than doing nothing, right? Unless it's like, you're really resting and you're really meditating and you're really rejuvenating. If you're gonna, stay in that energy of being, then get your creativity and connection, service. It's if you can't find work, for example, volunteering is way better than doing nothing. It will at least build the connections and put you in the right place at the right time to be able to get a job or to be able to start your own business, or because all of those come from your relationships. So it's this energy of not listening to the part of you that's like, I'm going to hide because I feel so ashamed of not having an income, and getting out and going, I am employed by God. That's what Louise Hay would say, right? I have my job comes from the creator. She says in her affirmation book, the ultimate chairman of the board. I always have divine employment. It always finds me. And that's what I used long before I started my businesses or my companies, when I was, in university and I was stuck financially, or when I was a teenager and I didn't know how to find a job or how to cover the things that I needed to cover, just start saying, "I already have a job. I work for Creator, the ultimate chairman of the board, and he will tell me exactly what to do and how to do it." And things often work together. So, for example, when my first job when I moved to London was working for an osteopath clinic, and then the owner of the osteopath clinic offered to let me use some of the rooms to do my angel readings. So I would do my angel readings, and I would do their reception work, and I would run my events in other places, and one would feed into the other. But don't let the idea that you have to choose a job or your divine life purpose. Sometimes it's a hybrid and you will work yourself out of your job. Okay. Okay. It feels like it's finished now. Okay, I'm actually getting told to bring in Archangel Raphael as well. Can we do a debt clearing for you guys? And can we show you that debt is not a problem for a creator? And that you can start affirming that your debts are paid in full by Creator of all that is. I'm just going to unplug you from your own financial power and plug you into divine financial power. Okay, that's looking a lot better. Okay, Hijau is saying hi and thanks for your generous offer. I am right. I am in right. Am I on the right track after a whole year of struggling and emotional pain? Thanks. This year, I think on astrological level has been for all of us about betrayal and about self-trust and about resilience. So these are mastery level lessons that every single ascended master has to figure out, because it's how we master unconditional mercy and unconditional compassion, as well as unconditional love. It's even Jesus on the cross, right? There isn't one ascended master that got out of it. You can master it without suffering, but pain and suffering are different things. Even Buddha says life has pain, suffering is optional. So a lot of pain came about this year. So what the angels are saying is, what you've done almost is kind of say, I'm not letting anybody else in, or I'm not trusting anybody, and that won't give you what you need to move to the next level. Can we show you that the beliefs you need is, from now on, I trust myself. It's safe for me to see when people's feelings about me change. It's safe for me to have difficult conversations. It's safe for me to be myself no matter what. Okay, that's looking a bit better to me. Let me have a go down. Okay, Simone is saying, I have severe IBS and I've also been diagnosed with a cognitive disorder sometime at the end of 2020. Starting 2 months ago, I started to hear a whoosh in my left ear, which I see could be quite serious. This has been impacting my day-to-day life and work for the past 3 years. I basically realized that I can't work anymore, as I can't focus, I can't learn, I don't remember things. I put this down to a part of my awakening and huge stress at work, but I left this job at the end of March and the symptoms still haven't disappeared. Is there any more underlying health issue? Doctors in 2020 have not found anything regarding my brain and said that I have to relieve stress. Thank you. Okay, so you have severe IBS. Okay. So the gut is directly connected to the brain, and the brain fog, lack of memory, they're all are directly connected with leaky gut. We're actually starting our gut whispering challenge today. Starts at 4 p.m. And I'll put up a post for you guys to do questions for that as well. It's also completely free. I'm doing a lot of free challenges between now and December, as a way of giving higher service and as a run up to the Medical Intuitive Mastermind as well, to remind you guys the powers that you have to heal and what you can do. But literally, this is about the gut. So we need to, I would really recommend starting to take something like CBD oil and proper probiotics. to start healing this gut of yours because this is long term, this isn't good. If the doctors aren't giving you another diagnosis, then you need to get some tests set delivered to your house and take it to the GP. There's something really nasty going on in my part of the world where doctors are not giving a diagnosis because if they don't give you a diagnosis, then they don't have to um, refer you for treatment, and they also can't get sued if your health deteriorates. So the tests you can get for about 50 quid on all, and they'll literally send you like little boxes to your door. But it's linked. Gut and brain fog, memory loss, learning disorders are deeply, deeply linked. So it's really, really important. I think I would really recommend things like CBD oil, starting with coffee enemas, a proper parasite cleanse, cutting out wheat, sugar, dairy, basically an anti-inflammatory plant-based diet to get yourself back in order. From a soul perspective, it's very similar to my path because I had a very destroyed gut after years of antibiotics because of the thyroid causing chronic um, bladder issues for me. I was given a general antibiotics for a long time to get over cystic, what's it called? Almost, this is how good it is. I've healed it now, so I've forgotten what it's called. um, it's some kind of cystitis. It's like a chronic kind of cystitis that I had. And it really, really, really messed with my gut. It gave me all sorts of allergies, all kinds of things. And I had to detox from the antibiotics. I had to repair my gut. And I had no idea what I was doing back then because that was before my nutrition days and my angel healing days. So it took a lot of years from my life. But it was a call for me to step into my divine life purpose as a healer. You said you were in a very high stress job that you didn't enjoy. So if you get better, right, then you have to go back to work. And to your subconscious, you have to go back to something that you don't enjoy. So unless you create a job where you can receive money for doing something that you love, can you see the secondary gain? Because if you stay sick, then you never have to go back to work on an unconscious level. If you get better, then you have to go back to doing something you hate. So we have to switch it to when I get better, I will be able to return to a job that I love, and my life is going to be even better. But if getting better means returning to a job that you hate, there's nothing worse than doing something you hate every single day. It will literally make you sick, right? I'm going to have a quick scan. Okay, so there's a few questions here that I think may be really useful for us all, so I'm going to jump in. Is it above this? Okay. Okay, Anita Patel said, I have a very, very close friend who's been really nasty with me recently. It hurts me because we were really, really close. I'm just going to send you so much unconditional love. I've had so much experience, thank God, not with intimate friends. My friends have really held their ground this year, but with people I thought that loved me that were really horrifically nasty to me. The moment I didn't, the moment I held my boundaries, particularly my financial ones. So I'm going to send you so much unconditional love. And I'm going to bring in Archangel Jeremiah, the angel of forgiveness. And Archangel Raguel's coming in so strong. So Archangel Raguel is another one I use for relationships, particularly relationship conflict and betrayal. So he brings in harmony, divine harmony in your relationships. Oh, I can feel all the tears. So I think a lot of you have had this. So if you want this on a collective level, just say yes. Okay. So the message I'm being asked to give you from your angels is that relationships aren't forever. Relationships is while there's true love given and received, And if that changes, whether because your friend is holding hidden resentment, and that's called passive aggression, and and very common in women. So whether it's their romantic relationships or their friendships, when they're upset with you, what they'll do is they'll do something behind your back, whether that's telling people horrible things about you, or whether that's setting up something to steal something from you or harm you in some way, shape, or form. It's in the female shadow, right? Because we weren't, if you think that we weren't allowed to work and we weren't allowed to, have power, we had to do everything hidden and passive aggressive against our husbands or families, because if we lost them, then we would lose our life. Period. We'd be like excommunicated. So we've got this very strong hidden aggression or gossip or hidden attack strategy, or trapping people with this. If you think like when a woman's angry at her husband, she tells her whole family what he's done wrong and about talking to him first, right? And then it's like social humiliation. So can we just unplug you from this? And can we show you that the love that you shared with this person was real, but the relationship has changed form? And that whenever something goes wrong in a situation, it's not 50% and 50%. It's 100% and 100%. Okay. Levels of responsibility. So it's taking 100% responsibility for the space in you where you couldn't see that this person had stopped loving you and where you ignored your gut in that area, and where you didn't communicate openly with them that this was a problem. And their side is working on the inability to release a friend that they no longer like with love, or to end a relationship for whatever reason with kindness, or to grow and actually be happy for their friend evolving and growing. But their part is not your growth, and your part is not their growth. We all have our unique curriculum, and it's not necessarily a vibrationally matched unique curriculum. It's just that we are perfect for pushing each other onto that next stage. Okay, so in order to be the very best healer, you have to be able to see all of the emotions, and a lot of healers can't see jealousy. So if you want a muscle test, yes, 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 no, no, no. Each muscle test, I can see jealousy in others. The same way that you need to be able to see resentment to be able to dissolve a lot of diseases, jealousy is actually a form of resentment. Brené Brown showed that in her studies, her book Atlas of the Heart. Jealousy is a form of resentment. And if you cannot see it, you cannot heal it, clear it, hand it over to the angels. So wherever you are hiding your jealousy from yourself or from others, or other people are hiding their jealousy from you, can we ask that it be healed? Can we give it to Creator of all that is? Can we ask for an instant healing as well? And can we show you it's okay to see and it's okay to address? And one of the exercises I'm going to invite you to do as homework, and which I'm going to do this week, is actually sit down and look at all the places where you currently go silent, because you know that if you were to say something, you would say something cruel, or you would say something not the way that it needs to be said, or you're afraid of the response, and actually write down those responses in the most kind but assertive way possible. Not passive aggressive, not like hidden snidiness, but just how do you put this into words in the kindest way and in the most honest way, so that you can get your needs met and they can get their needs met. Because they're showing me you've gone silent, so we're just going to open up your throat chakra again and show you that communication is not just for the other person. Even if they can't hear you, even if they don't want to hear it, communication is for you. And even if they never see the responses to your writing, you need to get it out of your throat chakra, out of your heart, out of your body, so it doesn't become a mental illness or physical illness. There we go. Peter saying, thanks, I feel so depressed. What should I do? And I'm immediately being shown vitamin C, vitamin D. Like they're showing me severe vitamin deficiencies. Obviously, I don't know your medical history. I'm not allowed to diagnose. But I would get like Dr. Mercola, vitamin C is the one I tend to use a lot, like the bioavailable one, at least 10,000 I use a day, combined with a vitamin D. And getting out into the sun or into the light And they're actually showing me you're allergic to the light bulbs in your house. So changing your light bulbs so that they're warm light bulbs would really, really help you as well. Oh, and they're also showing me working on anger because some people, when they're depressed, it's because of grief and sadness, but yours is really deeply connected to anger. So, working on releasing a lot of old anger, things like pillow beating, rage work, anger work, that'd be very, very good for you. Okay, so I've been stuck in a feeling of depression and apathy for 2 years, and I cannot find a way out or any help. Please advise would be appreciated. Okay, so serotonin, dopamine, oxytocin, and I'm going to talk about this in the Gut Whispering webinar later on this afternoon, are not created in the brain. They're created in the gut. So the first places that I recommend people start if they're suffering with severe depression is a colonic or a coffee enema, followed by 10,000 IUs of vitamin C a day, and vitamin D and zinc. Okay. But if you are really, really depressed and that feeling does not shift, chances are your colon is really full of stuff. The average person carries about 15 pounds of rubbish, or shit literally inside their colon that needs to come out. So you need to get that out. You need to get that out yesterday. Probiotics and prebiotics are really showing me that your gut needs help, and that's what is the underlying issue. Okay. Um, I'm just being guided to go back to the other Q&A. This is the last one today. I'll be back on at 1 tomorrow. Okay. And I'll keep going. Feel free to keep adding more questions. I will get to as many people as I can. But trust, if I'm giving an angel reading for somebody else and you're feeling that's me, that's me, that's me, it's because that's you. Our angels give guidance for multiple people through one reading, and they're pulling me in different directions because they want to help as many people here as possible. And don't completely understand the full scope of what they're doing. So I'm just following my angelic guidance. But it's the same thing. If you feel like this is mine, then just say yes, and you'll get the same healings, the same downloads, perfect for your soul and your evolution, because that's what I ask for when I'm doing this work. Okay. I won't give the same thing. Your angels won't give you the same thing as they give someone else because your traumas are different. The root of your stuff is different, but they will know what is the highest and best for you. Okay. Kesley Boast. Hi, Sky. Thank you for this beautiful offering. I would love it if the angels could send healing on all levels and give guidance on how I can become more aligned with my soul light. I'm struggling with mind overwhelm, negative thoughts, doubts, and confusion, at times extreme fear and paranoia. What can I do to bring back calm, clarity, and peace inside and out? I feel it's affecting my kids and partner the most, and I have to move through this. Okay, so Marissa Peer has the best affirmation for this ever. She says that the affirmation you use when you're in overwhelm is, I have incredible coping skills. And that's the first thing the angel are kind of showing me to share with you. You want to start saying, I have incredible coping skills, because the average woman is asked to do a lot of tasks, a lot of jobs, not even tasks, big project management, the kids, the house, the cooking, the cleaning, the side business, the laundry, on top of that, the whole schedule of the home and the family and how it all runs. And that's a lot, right? It's a lot. Nobody can do 6 or 7 jobs at once without feeling overwhelmed. So the first thing is, if your brain goes into overwhelm and you go, oh my God, I can't do this. I'm failing. It's too much. Then you're telling your unconscious mind to shut down, right? And to go into overwhelm. And it creates horrible anxiety, horrible paranoia, and all those kind of things. So you start saying, I have incredible coping skills. I have divine right order in my life. I have everything I need within me to succeed. The support that I need will be provided for me. And then from there, when it comes to prioritizing, what I would say is this: most people, f- m- most people focus on minor things, their email list, their text, whether or not they clean the bathroom or not, small things. So if you major in minor things, then you're going to be in overwhelm. The biggest causes of overwhelm is not having your finances managed, not having your health managed, not having your relationships managed. So if you focus on big things, your financial goals, write them down. What are they? How are you going to meet them? Get it clear, right? People who write down goals are a lot more likely to reach them, and look at them every day. Stick it on a post-it note, on your bathroom mirror, on your laptop. Number two, your relationship goals. Okay. Um, one of the I love the Brendan Burchard video where he talks about switching states when you shift from one place to the other. So, for example, I work from home, and I've worked from home since before COVID, right? So for me, one of the most important things is shifting from my divine masculine energy when I'm serving and doing business stuff into my divine feminine energy before I go and spend time with my husband, and now with my husband and my son. So I literally stand here and do the Brennan Burchard exercise, and I go switch, 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 switch. And I say to myself, switch into mother, switch into wife, switch into sky. And it's the energy of switching from being a CEO, being the leader, being the healer, being the teacher, being the go, 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 go. I have to get things done. I'm following my divine guidance no matter what, to rest, repair, rejuvenate, mom, wife, myself, my home energy. And it's a shift from my divine masculine to my divine feminine. But if I don't sit here and go switch, 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 and click my fingers, my brain will not switch back into my divine feminine center, or even switch back into my rest, repair, rejuvenate cycle. So just these little things to switch you from mom mode to wife mode to work mode are incredibly powerful. And it's just a tiny switch change. You can do it by clicking your fingers before you walk out the door. You can do it by taking an extra 5 minutes to sit in the car at the traffic light before you come down the driveway, before you come home. It's just for 5 minutes. You can set a timer on your phone, because most people only do this for like 30 seconds or 40 seconds, and it's not enough. It needs to be like the full 5 to 20 minutes, but 5 minutes is more than enough for me normally, to really tell yourself that you are switching modes, and that how I meet my goals in relationship and mom mode are completely different. What I require to succeed as a wife and a mother is very different than what I require to succeed in business, right? So my subconscious mind needs to be told, do this as a wife, do this as a mom, because I want success in those relationship areas, right? And if I don't switch back in the morning, I'm like, switch into sky, switch into being a CEO, switch into being in abundance, switch into being the channel, switch into being the light for the world. My brain is stuck into, I'm a wife, I'm a mom, I'm just me. Who am I to do this? So I have to do those state changes. I have to manage my state, as Anthony Robbins would put it. And that really contributes to the lowering the overwhelm. But you really want to focus on the 4 pillars, as that I really, is the health, the relationship, the finances, and the emotions, so the emotional state. And that's how I manage my state. But those 4 core things, if you're clear on those goals in every area of your life, everything works. But if you're focused on the email list, the laundry, then nothing else works. Because let's say you start making more income, you can afford a cleaner, you can afford to get the laundry done, you can afford to have someone pick up your kids from school. But if you're focusing on the emails, you're still going to have to pick up the kids from school and do the laundry and do everything else, right? Same with health. If you focus on your health, you have the energy to pick up the kids from school, the energy to focus on your finances and work with clients. If you don't focus on your health, you don't have the energy for any of those things. So it's pulling back and focusing on core major things instead of everything you have to get done. What are the major things you have to focus on that are going to give you the greatest results? One of my first mentors, Anna Kitney, used to say to me, what's the one thing that if I focus on will give me the biggest result? And that's still one of the things that I use to prioritize the most. Okay. Gonna do one more, and then I'll see you guys here again tomorrow. Okay, so Veronica's saying, hi, Sky, thank you so much. Why, even after all the emotional energy work I do, I still can't break through the financial relationship blocks, and my insomnia, jaw tension, body aches are stronger? Thank you. Okay, so as I'm scanning you, what your angels are saying to me is that this is about being honest with yourself about what you really want. And the problem is that you don't think you're allowed to want what you want. There's something really deep when I'm scanning your energy that's like, I want to be taken care of. That's what I'm getting. I want to be taken care of. And then there's all this conditioning, which is like, well, I should want to do this, and I should want to take care of myself, and I should want that. But what you want is to be taken care of. So what I would work on is releasing all the people that told you that you were not worth taking care of, all the people that neglected you, because it's looking like a core neglect wound to me, so that you can um, um, so that you can start making progress in this area. But I would look at neglect. Where did people ignore you? Where did people pretend like you didn't exist? Where did you just fit into everyone else's schedule where you were growing up as a child? Every time I say it's the last one, it's like just one more. Okay. Hi, lovely. I've been having loads of problems with my skin, psoriasis and allergies and all sorts. So been a tough couple of months. Okay, so I'm just going to send an instant healing to your liver. Your skin is not about your skin. Okay. And they're showing me a very high intolerance to dairy. And they're showing me your gut as well, and they're showing me potentially heavy metal poisoning. So you guys know I'm not allowed to diagnose, but chelation, bentonite clay, zeolite clay, and a protocol for detoxing from heavy metals, particularly aluminium, would be very good for you. Please switch deodorant to something non-metallic. Okay, so I'm going to stop here. I'm going to do our closing prayer, and then I'll be back tomorrow at 1. Okay. O Great Spirit, Father Sky, Mother Earth, the winds, the waters, my Father, my Mother, Atanaha, all that is. We thank you for our lives, and we thank you for these good, good people. We thank you for all that we are and all that we are to become. We dedicate our time spent together and our relationships with one another to you. We ask that our suffering be ended, that our pain be lifted, to the love and to the peace that lay beyond. Aho, Amen, Namaste. See you tomorrow, guys.